Package sets are a great option for beginner golfers or high handicappers looking for a cost-effective way to get kitted out for the golf course.
But which are the best full sets and which sets are best for your game? We have tested all of the best package sets in 2025 to find out.
Right, Sam, I can see you're raring to go with the first set you've got to talk about, but for those of you watching at home or wherever you may be, if you do like the look of any of these package sets that we talk about here, we've put some handy links in the description below so you can go and get the best prices in your region. Right, Sam, what have you got for me?
Well, I'm going to kick us off with what I think is going to be a hit, and I think people are going to be kicking in the product description box for these. This is the Vice Golf Boost starter set, and while I don't feel like you get quite as many clubs maybe as some other package sets on the market, I think they look insane.
I was going to say, you better be talking about the looks. They look premium, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. So you've got this premium detailing on the driver, on the hybrid as well, which I think gives it, you know, a much more premium look maybe than other package sets on the market. And the irons have this more minimalistic look with just the logoing. You've got this brushed satin kind of finish on them, and the blacks and silvers keep things pretty basic. But aside from that, I really, really like the bag. I think you get a premium stand bag, which I think sometimes gets missed out on package sets. Don't you agree?
I do, yeah, and they haven't scrimped there, have they? There's loads going on pocket-wise, looks high quality.
Exactly, yeah, plenty of logos as well. You've got the valuables pouch on the side. So this comes in at about $470, 450 odd pounds. So I think it's really good value for money as well. But in terms of the performance, I actually really liked how the irons felt. You got quite a decent launch out of those, and they looked like they spun up in the air, which was quite nice. But when it came to the driver, I did find it just launched a little lower than other sets that I tested this year. So if you're someone who struggles with launching the ball and you're looking for height, it might not be the best option.
But like
overall,
say, contrary to that, if you are someone who spins it up a lot, or you see a lot of those moon balls, that could be a good option for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. If you're someone who plays in windy conditions, or you might play on firmer golf courses, maybe some links courses, then it could be a really good option. So yeah, I think great value for money, and to me, this is probably the best looking package set that I've seen this year. So we're not obviously going against each other here, but you do have a set in front of you here. Talk to me about this and what you like about those.
Well, this was my favourite looking, so you kind of stole it a little bit there from me, but I've got the Callaway Maverick package set in front of me. Now, this is on the pricier end of the market, or sort of mid to high price of what we're looking at today. So it's around $1,200 US or £900 in UK. And there is a lot of good stuff going on. Like Sam, I really like the bag. I like how sort of non-patronising it is, if you like. A lot of the package sets you get can be a bit bold, a bit bright, and like I said, feel a bit patronising to newer golfers. I think this looks really sophisticated. I like the black and grey colourway there, but I think the personal highlight for me in this set, which would sell it to someone for me, would be the irons. Now, a lot of package set irons that I've tried historically, a bit clunky and can be a bit clumsy. These have got relatively narrow soles, and they just feel really good off the face. They don't give you that sort of frying pan clangy feel that you get off some. There's a real feedback through the hands here. So I think the irons in particular are a really good feature. One thing I would have changed about the irons, if I'm being really picky, is I'd really like to have seen maybe a more specialist sand wedge. The sand wedge just matches the set. It's still got quite a big cavity and that kind of thicker top edge, and you as a better player, you'd particularly want a sort of more specialist wedge, right?
Exactly, yeah, and I think, like you said, I think they look great, and this to me looks as though you're getting premium components and you're just able to purchase it all in one.
Well, you say premium components, that's a good segue into the putter, which I think of anything that I've tested this year in package sets would be my favourite. I actually played this putter as a single entity on its own throughout a lot of my playing days. It's the White Hot #1, so just a nice sort of Ping Answer or Newport style blade putter, but with the White Hot insert, which is as premium as it gets. They're still using that insert today, gives a really soft feel and would be really good feedback for beginners learning the game. So on the whole, I think this is a fantastic package set to get started with.
Okay, Joe, so we've got some colour coordination going on here, but talk to me about your set you've got in front of you.
Yeah, we didn't plan that, did we? But it's worked out well. So I've gone with another sort of behemoth of the equipment world. I've got TaylorMade. I started with Callaway, and I've gone to TaylorMade, and I've got the RBZ package set. Now, this one comes in at £1,300, $1,400, around that mark. I've seen it for online. And there's a couple of things I really, really love about this set, and it's kind of at the opposite ends of the set. So starting with the putter, you get this nice spider. We know how good the spider range is.
I noticed the spider head cover there.
I knew you'd like a bit of the spider. So you've got the high MOI, you've got forgiveness, which is important when you're learning the game, right? When you're not necessarily going to middle every putt. So a lot of playability you get down there. And those Scotty Scheffler fans out there, you've even got the Pure Roll insert from TaylorMade. So that is a serious bit of tech and components in there that's going to really improve your game and get the ball rolling really quickly and really purely, as TaylorMade will tell you. And not glossing over the rest of the set, because it is pretty solid. The irons give you kind of a more robust, industrial kind of a feel. They're kind of firm, but they do a really good job. They're packed with power. But at the top of the bag, the driver, I've named this my best set for adjustability, because this is the only set we've tested, I believe, and maybe the only package set I've tested ever that has an adjustable driver. So you get the TaylorMade loft sleeve on there. So this set and this driver in particular can grow with you. So if you start putting on a bit of speed and you notice you're spinning it a little bit too much, you can actually loft it down and control that spin.
I really like that. Yeah, that's clever, isn't it?
Well, it means you get a bit more time out of the set, right? You're not going to outgrow it and need to go onto those clubs as quickly, so you might get a bit more value out of there. And also, whether it's a spin or a longevity thing, you can start to see the shape you're hitting and mitigate that. And there's very few package sets that do that. And without wanting to poo-poo your set, yours doesn't, but what have you got?
Well, yeah, I do have the McGregor DCT 400 set here. So we are kind of talking opposite ends of the spectrum between these two. So this comes in far cheaper at $299. And you can get this actually from Costco as well, which I find really handy. If you are someone who's getting into golf and you want a full set of clubs, this comes with 2 hybrids, a fairway wood, a driver. We've got irons ranging from 5 to sand wedge and a putter. For that money, I think it's really impressive.
It's pretty good, isn't it? And one thing I've seen over my set that you might have, or depending on your point of view, you've got a nice stand bag there, a carry bag. Mine's cart bag only. So if you're someone who anticipates playing their golf using a pull trolley, then mine might be a good bet because it's a bit sturdier and you get a bit more stuff in it. But if you're going to be a carrier, that's where you need to be, right?
Exactly, yeah. And I think, you know, the good thing about a sandbag is you can always just tuck the legs in and you can chuck it on a trolley as well. So I feel like there might be a bit more versatility with this bag. I wouldn't say it's the most premium bag out of, you know, all the sets that we have tested this year. It feels a little lightweight and a little flimsy, but overall it does a great job. It's got 6 pockets, it's got a valuables pouch, so it does have all the pockets that you would need. But in terms of the performance, this is really good. And for me, this is the best package set for those looking for high launch. So the slower swingers, those who are seeking more carry, more height out of the ball flight, then this is the set to go for. You do have, you know, some cavity back irons here that range the whole way through the set, so even down to the wedge, so you are guaranteed that height and stopping power. And the same with the driver. I don't think I hit a driver out of all the package sets here today that went as high as this one here. That was a running theme throughout the woods. So like I said, if you are someone who struggles with launch and they want a bit more height, then this is the set to go for.
Right, we've got 2 more in front of us here. Not quite as colour coordinated as last time round, but what are you packing there, Sam?
I have in front of me the Sticks Jack Nicklaus Essential set.
This is a collab. I like this. I saw this when we were warming up. I've not tried these, but I quite like these, yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. I think you get this small, lightweight stand bag, which I think is all you need. You've got 10 clubs here. I think the driver looks superb. I actually really like the sight dot on the top, which isn't something you see that often. You see it, King fairway woods have a tiny little sight dot on the top. Golfers who may be taking up the game or kind of growing in their journey in the game, you might want something that highlights the center of the face a bit more. And so for that reason, I really like it. But moving on through the rest of the set, you get a bladed wedge. You get these kind of cavity back irons that actually they do have a bit of offset, but they have really thin top line. And I think that, for me, is the reason why I've picked this set as the best set for intermediate golfers this year.
I think I'd agree with you there. As soon as I put those irons down, like you said, there is that offset, but they're quite compact relatively to some of the other irons we've got here with that thinner top line. So yeah, I think more intermediate players are going to enjoy the look of those irons in particular.
Exactly, yeah. I think it's a set where people who are just starting the game but might be maybe more confident, or those golfers who are they're already playing, they're an intermediate golfer, mid to high handicapper, and they're just looking for a refresh, a new set of clubs at a pretty good price point. So these come in at $685, which I think for the 10 clubs is a, you know, it's a good option. I think they might have scrimped the money on the putter head cover, is that right?
Exactly,
yeah. I think, you know, it might be a bit more expensive, but we do have this rather pathetic looking putter head cover, which is a shame because you've got these other sock head covers here, which I think are quite nice. You've got the dual logos going on there. And yeah, I think aside from that, the performance was really solid. But yeah, that's it for my set. I think the best for intermediate golfers out of all the clubs that we've tested here today. I think they look great down behind the ball. And for those who are maybe slightly further ahead in their golfing journey, who just want a refresh and a new set all in one, I think the Sticks Jack Nicklaus Essential set is perfect. Again, we're not quite color coordinating here, are we? But you've got this vibrant orange set in front of
clashing, haven't we, going on? So I've got the Wilson Advantage X3 one. So this comes in at £450 or about $500. So there is some real potential value to be had here. And I've had a good test of these, and when I was looking for a category to sort of recommend into these, I would probably put these down as my best for slower swing speeds or more moderate swing speeds, if you want a nicer way of putting it. When you move the driver and the woods in particular, they are very, very soft, which, if you are someone who's coming to the game fresh and you haven't built up that speed or that muscle memory to really produce high swing speeds yet, that's going to really, really suit you. We've touched on the colour already. I actually quite like it. If you're Dutch, you're probably really going to like it. You get 6 to sand wedge, you get a driver, a 3 with a hybrid, just everything you need. You're someone who's got a little bit more speed, you can kind of feel that club head kicking through, adding a little bit more loft. So they were really high launching, but like I said, for the slower swing speed player, I think that's going to be really, really useful. So that is you, and you are Dutch, well, there you go.
Okay, Joe, so we have one final set here in front of us. Let's go through it. What have we got?
Saved a bit of a beast here for last. This is the PXG Wildcat set, and I've got the full bag bundle, or not quite the full bag bundle, because it does come with in the bundle with a premium stand bag, which didn't come through for me for testing. I just got the club. So don't get too excited. You don't get this huge leather vessel tour bag with it, but you do get a really premium bag. Now, this whole set has been designed just to make the game as easy and as fun as possible, and they've done that in a lot of ways, and that's sort of personified with the driver. So we've got 16 degrees of loft on the driver, a nice light swing weight at C6. They've kept these really easy to move, and it's only 44 inches, so it's not too long. So while you're learning the game or you're trying to find some control and some strike, you're not too far from the ball, which I think is a really useful asset.
It's almost like mini driver length, isn't it? And you know, even more loft than a mini driver, but we're talking that larger head with a short shaft, far easier to control, and obviously super easy to launch. And we can talk on to the irons here as well, just because they look like some seriously wide soles.
They are very, very wide soles, and again, it's all about making it as easy as possible. So if you're someone that's prone to a fat shot, or someone who hits the ball a little bit heavy from time to time, the soles on these clubs, the width of sole available, they just act like a rudder and help you slide through the turf. So you get some really forgiving strikes. So we don't always talk about mishits in terms of thin and fat. We're often talking heel and toe and retaining ball speed. But if you are someone who's hitting it heavy, these are going to be absolutely do brilliantly for you. Now, they're just about as premium as it gets, and like I said, this is the full bag bundle. But what I love with PXG, what they've done here, is you can just buy it all individually, and you know, going back to the driver, it's a standalone piece. You could just own that, and it would do a really, really good job as an inline driver for you. But you can build up as slowly or as quickly as you want. And crucially for me, in the full bag bundle, not only do you get the clubs, not only do you get the bags, but you get a hat so you can stay cohesive with your set, and you get some golf balls. And those of you who can cast your mind back, or if you are watching as a beginner, you probably are losing 1 or 2 golf balls on the course. So having some extra golf balls as part of that bundle is a really nice touch.
Okay, so I think we've probably talked enough about the PXG Wildcat package set, but there is one more set that we want to talk about that couldn't be with us here today, could it, Joe? What is that?
It couldn't, but it is possibly my favourite brand of the year, arguably. I've tested some incredible products across the range from Tour Edge, and it's a brand that's a bit newer to me. I hadn't really done much testing before I joined Golf Monthly, and everything I test from Tour Edge seems to be supremely high quality, and this is the TE400 package set. Now, the first thing I loved about this, and again, I've mentioned OCD a couple of times, I can be a bit funny about getting stuff to match and look cohesive, and it's arguably, from a looks point of view, the most cohesive set that I've seen. The sort of vibrant blue accent colours with the black is carried throughout all of the clubs, from driver to putter, the bag, the head covers, which, as you noted, are extremely premium. They're really well finished, they're really well made, and they're very durable, which is, again, something that we do need to focus on in this package set stuff. The attention to detail there is fantastic. Now, they're not massively expensive either. At £684, around the $750 mark. It's just a really nicely put together set of clubs with some interesting features in terms of the set makeup. It's quite heavily top loaded. So you get driver, 3-wood, 5-wood, and 2 hybrids. So I haven't seen anything else that we've tested that has that level of armory in there. And you don't necessarily need to have all of that in there. It could be a little bit confusing for some, but to have all those options and work out what's going to go well with your game as a beginner, I think is really, really useful. And for that money, that's why I've dubbed them sort of my best for value package set. I think it's absolutely fantastic. 2 more things I would note with that set. Truth be told, hand on heart, if I was going to play it, I probably would change the putter. The idea is great. It's got that kind of fang shape, bit of MOI, bit of sort of perimeter weighting to give you the forgiveness, but it's not brilliantly executed. The alignment aid doesn't point in the right direction, really. It's a bit squiffy, and it's just, generally speaking, it could have been put together a little bit better, which is a shame because the rest of the set is arguably better than anything else I've tried. It's absolutely fantastic. And the final point I will make is if you're someone who struggles with confidence for driver, thinking you're gonna not get the ball airborne, this is a brilliant driver for that. A, it just goes high, but B, it looks like it's going to go high. The stated loft is 10.5 degrees, but as soon as you put it down, we both said this, you can see so much face and it just looks like you're going to get the ball airborne, and it does a great job for that. So for me, based on all of that, the attention to detail, the cohesion, the options at the top of the bag, I think it's a great value package set. Right, so I hope that's given you some useful information and given you an idea of which of these package sets suit what type of player, but we couldn't finish without maybe picking our favourites. So what about you, Sam?
So for me personally, I think the Styx Jack Nicklaus set, the Essentials, the collab, it's my favourite. I think they look great, and I think they're perfect for those that are starting their journey and can keep in the bag as they progress. How about you?
For me, I've gone for the Callaway Maverick. Love the irons, which sometimes are a bit of an afterthought, I think, in these package sets. And it's a putter I've played before, and I love that white hot insert. Great all-round setup and good value.
Okay, so remember, if you like any of the package sets that you've seen in today's video, I'm going to put the links for each of them in the description box below so you can find them for the best price in your area. From us here at the beautiful Caversham Golf Club in Reading, we'll see you next time.